Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. Money in the Bank 2023 is in the books. See two new Money in the Bank briefcase holders. Not LA Knight, despite the crowd seeming to really want LA Knight. Damian Priest and, as kind of expected, as the favorite anyways, Io Sky handcuffed. Her Damage Control stablemate, although we'll see how long Damage Control lasts after this.
Probably not much longer after this.
Probably not. Handcuffed her to Becky Lynch while climbing the ladder, climbed over and stepped
over
right
Bailey,
next,
I know.
right next to Bailey's face to capture women's Money in the Bank. And perhaps, I'm not going to say it shockingly because you called it a while ago, Jey Uso got the pin on Roman Reigns in the Bloodline Civil War match. Which I guess we can talk about, leads us to ask, is this going to lead to Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam?
It would make a lot of sense. Last night on SmackDown, we can talk about this. I'm sure we'll talk about SmackDown or aspects of SmackDown more in depth on Monday. But on SmackDown, the segment that closed the show, the Usos really set up kind of the consequences that were to happen if Roman were to lose.
Yeah.
Roman, you're not tribal chief anymore once you lose. Like, once you lose, period, full stop, you're not tribal chief.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
There's only one of you being kicked out, or one of us being kicked out of the bloodline. That's you, Roman.
Mm-hmm,
and they tried to sow some tension between Roman and Solo, with each Uso saying, I don't want to be tribal chief, but we know someone who's got our vote, and the camera cuts to Solo, and he's like, kind of pondering it, and Roman he does his huge belly laugh, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And then one glare from Solo, and he stops laughing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So now, what is the dynamic inside? We saw a little bit of the dynamic, I think, of what to expect. So there was a spot where Roman tried to stack the Usos and pin them. Mm-hmm. They kicked out, and Roman was absolutely beside himself. He was an emotional wreck.
Oh, yeah. He's a mess. Yeah.
And it was Solo that went up to him, almost like,
what is your deal? Why are you crying? There's no crying here.
It looked like he was about to hit him with the spike, but then he's like, all right, come on, let's get back to it. And he gets on top of Jey, I believe, and starts punching him. And then it kind of snaps Roman out of that zone he was in.
He shows his leadership capability, Solo does. Because that inspired Roman then to be like, okay, this match is not all lost yet. I mean, it did, but
yes. But Solo is really showing his tribal chief bona fides here.
Yeah, leadership capabilities.
Yeah.
So where do you? I mean, it's got to be Jey versus Roman at SummerSlam. I mean,
I think so.
That's the next match I think they can do that'll really get people wondering, is this it for Roman?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's gonna be, but I guarantee you they're gonna tell a story where in the lead up I'm gonna be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Jey. Maybe it is Jey.
It might be the situation now where the lead up to it is, where's Solo's loyalties?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still going to acknowledge Roman as a tribal chief because that's his job, that's his duty? The elders sent Solo to protect Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he sees that Roman is becoming a shell of a person with two consecutive, this is the first time he's been pinned in 3.5 years, but 2 consecutive losses in matches, and with no Usos to help him out, relying solely on Solo, and like Solo's like, why am I defending him now? Why am I protecting this man?
Yeah.
When I or Jey or Jimmy could fill this role much more successfully than Roman can currently.
Well, I think you might sort of be previewing how that match is going to play out. Look, Solo's smart to stay with Roman as long as Roman's the champion. And maybe the idea is they're going to try to get Solo away from Roman, and Solo's going to have to make that big decision, and that's going to lead to Jey losing. Because the bottom line is, if Roman beats Jey, the feeling might be that they're gone, that the Usos, that's over with. What else are they going to do? What else can they do? Mm-hmm. Solo makes his decision. He's the guy who, basically keeps Jey from, if Jey has to trust in Solo making the right decision, and Solo goes into business for himself, by staying with Roman, well, that's going to be the finish of the match right there. So we booked it, so we can look at Survivor Series now. I'm joking. As a whole, as a premium live event, WWE, they've been on a roll with these things lately. And the crowd, of course, they're in London. Crowd's going to be electric. That being said, I thought it was by the standards of your typical, like going over the past 3 years, premium live event, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. The standard that's been set this year, that's a high bar.
It is.
Save the one country music act and the Hardy act at the Royal Rumble.
But
everything else has been by and large really good. And I feel like there were a couple more moments in this particular premium.
Before let's talk about this real quick, because I think I think there's even reports to this effect that Brock might make an appearance during the show. We thought there was a high probability if he's going to be there, well, he's there to have some sort of impact on this Cody Dom match, whether it's during or after, to set up Cody and Brock's next match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And especially, I know there's a lot of talk, and I think it was just, I don't know if Michael Cole misspoke or it was, it's the WWE philosophy that every match is a main event, where Michael Cole said on SmackDown on Friday, referring to the Cody Dom match as a main event match.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea I think people have is like, oh, if that's going on last, something huge has to happen then to justify it going on last. It has to be a huge story, beat something, especially if it's going to go on after, Usos and Roman and Solo.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, even not that sort of just confirmed to me or validated what I figured would happen anyways. Brock being there, and that didn't happen. And here's the thing, I don't want to tear into. I'm not saying this is a bad. By the opposite, I thought this was a really, really good premium live event. Like I said, the bar has been set so high, but you look at some of the things that like Money in the Bank has been known for, the unpredictable. You had Priest win it, when LA Knight was a huge crowd favorite to win. And I called Priest winning a while ago. And I'm not going to say it's deflating, but when you got that magic in the bottle, like LA Knight, they're telling their story, and that's perfect. That's great. But man, oh man, to see that roof come off the place with LA Knight, I thought would have been something else, because they seem to really be gearing these moments at these premium live events to really blow the roof off the place.
Yeah.
They EO was, I think, a lot. The crowd really loved EO. They loved to see that.
Mm-hmm.
The Finn Seth match, it was fine. It was fine,
but
it wasn't anything special. And then Priest sort of distracting Finn. It was like, no, stop. Why are you doing that? Which, look, it'll lead to intrigue in the Judgment Day, but no cash in. There was a mere distraction, which still led to sort of, Seth winning in kind of, I don't know. It was just sort of a mid match. I'll be honest with you. I think they're capable of so much more.
Yeah, someone in chat here during the stream, and apologies for not recalling the name, said with the Money in the Bank winners, they chose story.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, sure.
In terms of the stories, short term at least, that you could tell with the briefcases, they having Priest and EO win, there's immediate stories you can tell right there.
Yeah, sure.
Involving the briefcase,
Yeah.
I was pretty much convinced LA Knight wasn't winning Money in the Bank after SmackDown when there was that segment with Logan Paul again.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like there's a pretty good chance we're gonna get LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Maybe the idea is, yes, we can put the briefcase on LA Knight. In a lot of respects, he's kind of an ideal person to hold the briefcase, historically speaking. But then he cashes in, then what's next?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
maybe they feel like, because, since he's really gathered a lot of popularity, there hasn't been a consistent, seemingly creative direction for him.
Yeah, right.
He's getting over on his own because he's great on the mic. He's charismatic.
Yeah.
He's funny. So maybe now the idea is, okay, with LA Knight, the crowd's really behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's involve him in some stories to give his creative some semblance of direction. So when he eventually is in a position to win a title, U.S. title, world title, I don't know, then it'll feel inevitable at that point.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of. And if that's the case, then it's a situation where you're potentially giving. LA Knight's gotten himself over wherever he's been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So this isn't criticism towards LA Knight. You get him involved in stories, and you see if this popularity has staying power.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The crowd was absolutely explosive for him. It was
1,000%.
Great to see that. And then another thing that stood out to me was the length of the John Cena Grayson Waller segment.
That was long.
Cena came out and basically
that rock segment at Mania 31, or the one where he had the flamethrower and to his name. Yeah.
So Cena basically teases the idea that London could get a WrestleMania, which is a phenomenal idea. But they have Grayson Waller come out there, and to have Grayson Waller go toe to toe with Cena, and Grayson didn't flub anything, and he seemed confident, and that was great for him. And it's a great spot for him. It was just a really, really long segment.
It was really long.
And we've been spoiled by these premium live events being 3 hours long. And this one went 3.5, almost 3:45. And to get a segment that long, just jammed in the middle of the show was a little abnormal. But crowd loved Cena. Cena loved the crowd. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a WrestleMania London out of it. But I don't know. Look, they tried some stuff. They opted to tell some stories. Ain't complaining about that at all, because this Judgment Day stuff. Oh, speaking of which, Priest just showed up at the press conference. I got it on my thing over here. And he's got a T-shirt with him that just says "Money in the Bank winner." So
does it look like a homemade type deal?
There you go.
Like some iron. He got some iron-ons and made it himself.
Possibly. Let me take a look. No, this looks nice. If that's Andio's out. Nice. Okay, she doesn't have a shirt though. Okay, very cool. She doesn't have a new shirt. She's got a shirt on. And Bailey's with her.
Oh, interesting. Talk about telling stories. They're starting that right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. But the bottom line is, we critique the good and the bad, and those were the things that I thought, they've, like I said, the standard has been built so high this year, 2023, with these premium live events.
Let's talk about this interesting story, because I don't think anybody saw it coming, because there was no kind of foreshadowing. Mm-hmm. So during the women's tag title bout, Ronda tags herself in, and again, with no hint in any sort of tension between Ronda and Shayna. Yeah. Shayna gets in the ring and basically annihilates Ronda, turns on her.
Yeah.
Walks out and allows Raquel and Liv to win the tag titles back, the titles they never lost. And it's great to see that they're going to do a feud with Shayna and Ronda.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's just interesting they didn't lay any groundwork for said feud before the turn happened.
Yeah, they've been pretty successful together. I mean, if you look at them in tandem, I don't know, if you go back and look at maybe like their solo win-loss record walking into their team, and then as a team when they've done solo matches, maybe there's something there about Shayna taking losses and Ronda, getting the wins. Maybe there's something there. People have pointed out, of course, Shayna's outfit tonight was inspired by some sort of traitor type character in Warhammer 40K. But yeah, no, I don't know. I like this sort of out of nowhere. I'm looking forward to seeing, because here's the thing. This is the thing that I like about it, is that it seems like, look, I don't know how long Ronda wants to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And if the idea is you put him in this program together to elevate Shayna, something that you and I have both advocated for a long time.
Since she got called from NXT, basically.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, like, too often when they try to telegraph something, they're just a bit obvious with it, And so I kind of like a big surprise like this, because I was shocked and I was like, oh my God, I didn't see this coming. And I thought it was cool. I wasn't confused. I was like, well, Shayna's a killer. You know, like if you go back to like when Ronda first, realigned with her, she was like, what's your deal? You need to be a killer.
Yeah.
And there it is. That's all I need.
I think the only surprising part of it was that it happened mid-match and not afterwards,
She's like, screw it. Well, yeah, because like, look, clearly this is over. I don't want the awkwardness now of like having the titles with her.
Yeah.
So let me lay her out. Here's a gift to Liv. Yeah. She's cool. And then she walks out. But I don't know. In my opinion, dude, I say what better time to do it than mid-match.
Why wait till the end? Why wait?
Yeah. Right, exactly.
You made up your mind. Why wait? Just do it right then and there.
That's what I'm about. If you're going to do it. Pull the trigger on
it. Let's talk about this real quick before we get to the breakdown of the show. So we got 2 new Money in the Bank briefcase winners. Let's talk timeline for cash-in. So we got Priest on Raw, so we're looking at him cashing in potentially on Seth Rollins. Seth holds the title for a while, whereas EO, the women's title situation on SmackDown, you got Asuka as champion, you got Charlotte, and you got Bianca. Already all involved in the title picture. You think that's going to probably lead to something at SummerSlam. Now, does EO wait? I am wondering if she's going to have a bit of a feud with Bailey before focusing on maybe cashing in. How long do you feel like Priest and EO are going to be holding on those briefcases before a cash-in happens?
Io fights Bayley for the briefcase at SummerSlam, and at the end of SummerSlam, at the triple threat between those three, she cashes in,
All right.
and she wins it there. That's just sort of my initial gut. I love when you do the thing where you have a match and then you do later on the cash in on the same show. I think that's good. What's your scenario for Io?
I thought the same thing, that whenever the triple threat happens, whoever walks out as champ, Io cashes in there.
What would you prefer? Let's say Bianca and Charlotte, they end up taking themselves, let's say they do a triple threat in like a special SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Bianca Charlotte, that could be a match without a title at SummerSlam because Bianca's racking up those horsewomen wins. Mm-hmm. So she takes on Charlotte at SummerSlam, doesn't need a title. And in the meantime, because they've taken each other out of the triple threat and Asuka ends up winning that, pinning who knows, she stacks them. What if Io does she does have a shirt. Nice. What if Io does the call out, hey, I'm calling my shot. I'm going to take you on at SummerSlam.
That'd be great.
Bayley's holding up the briefcase.
Yeah, she's totally going to make an effort to try to get that from Io.
She is all about that brief. She's hugging it now. Io took it back. That was cute.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if they actually had someone who could be positioned as a babyface, and especially if after a feud with Bayley, Io is, one of, if not top babyface, I guess be one of top babyface on the women's division on SmackDown. Do that. Say I'm cashing in. I'm not going to do the opportunistic cash in. I'm cashing in it for an actual match on this day and then win it.
Because, dude, we're only a month away. Like, I don't know, like the earlier scenario I had where, okay, they do like in 2 weeks a triple threat for Asuka's title. Yeah. I don't know. There's not like you can get a whole month out of a feud. So I don't know if that would be the case, but I guess we'll just see.
As far as Priest, that is completely open ended.
Man, I thought there was a chance he'd leave tonight with that title, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, the simmering tension between him and Finn, do you think that situation is going to resolve itself prior to Priest cashing in? Finn is not going to be happy with Priest because Priest he got up when Finn had already hit like 3 coup de grace on the outside of the ring on Seth. He goes up for the kill shot. And then Damien gets out of the chair because he goes to ringside. He gets out of the chair, and Finn, of course, gets distracted. He's like, "What are you doing?"
He's like, "What are you doing, man?"
He's like, "Oh, sorry, my bad." And then Seth, of course, gets out of the way, leading to a stomp.
Yeah, and gets the win. So, I mean, one way or the other, it feels like Priest's days in the Judgment Day are probably numbered.
He's already telling him to stay back. I hate that too. That makes me so sad. Is JD going to replace him in Judgment Day?
I think so. And then JD's going to be the one that's going to tear apart Judgment Day from the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
probably.
That could be.
Although they haven't really done anything with the Finn JD thing in a number of weeks, so maybe they're just kind of, keeping that on the simmer for right now and doing that slow.
They focus grouped it, is what they did.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're like, let's see what people say about JD McDonald. Google my name.
It's like, do you know who he is? No. Google his name. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, it could be a situation where they're going to kick Damien out of Judgment Day. JD gets in there, and then he just tries to take control of it, and then goodbye Judgment Day.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Makes me sad. I hope
It does, because I feel like there's so much more left you could do with Judgment Day as a unit because they're so good together.
They're so good. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think, hey, look, man, I like to think they're going to resolve their issues via conflict mediation. And Damian Priest, he'll give a make good to Finn Balor. Not the briefcase, mind you. But maybe he'll be like,
I know you don't eat a lot of carbs, but here's a dozen donuts for you.
Here's a lot of I put him in the attaché case.
You think this is a contract in here? You're wrong.
Yeah, opens them up, and the inside is just like a bunch of glaze and chocolate mishmash with fried dough.
He opens it and sprinkles fly out everywhere. I heard you like cake donuts with sprinkles.
And Finn goes, no, I'm good. I don't know. You could say, look, man, let me cash in on this, and then I'll give you a first title shot, and we'll all be friends. Of course, that'll never work. Never works in wrestling.
That never works out. No,
it doesn't work. No. Anyways, before we get started with the thing, you want to pay some bills, Larson?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, iHerb. Now that I'm getting up there in years, I'm trying to say I'm getting old. So I am getting old.
Oh, yeah.
Become obvious. I need to take better care of myself, which means making sure my body Gets everything it needs to operate at peak performance. When I'm looking for the best value in wellness products, I go to iHerb.
I think most of us have our favorite grocery stores to shop at, right?
Yeah.
Now with iHerb, you can have your go-to stop for all things health and wellness. I'm talking vitamins, supplements, snacks, spices, and a whole lot more. And for a limited time, new customers can get 22% off their entire order by going to iHerb.com and using promo code RAW.
You know, I've been taking daily vitamins for as long as I can remember, so I went to iHerb to see what they had. And the selection they have is enormous. It's huge. But iHerb has made the process a breeze because you can search by category, brand, customer ratings, price, even diet for if you're vegan or have food allergies. You know, and I was able to navigate the numerous options effortlessly and decided on these. Look, Steve, it says alive. And they got ultra potency.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? I got these. I got my matcha latte mix with lion's mane mushroom. Got some probiotics here.
Oh, wow. You got
here's
so much
the thing.
stuff.
I know. Here's the thing, too. Shipping is free in the U.S. on orders over $20.
Oh, my goodness. And with over 24 million authentic reviews and 1.3 million five-star ratings, iHerb has helped more than 11 million customers find the best products for them. It's time to get your health in check with iHerb. New customers get 22% off your first order when you use code RAW at iHerb.com.
That's 22% off your first order at iherb.com. Promo code RAW. Choose iHerb because wellness matters.
Before we get started with the actual review, Larson, why don't you, and I let my dog out of the room, why don't you tell the people who won the Money in the Bank Predictions Challenge?
I can do that.
Are you a Flannelly Dan man?
It was Flannelly Dan who got the win here with the score of, I believe, 31 points. Yes, 31 points. Congratulations, Flannelly Dan. So much like the real Money in the Bank briefcase, at any of our upcoming predictions challenges for the next year, if you're within striking distance of the leader and want to cash in, let us know inside that briefcase lunchbox. That makes a lot of noise when you shake it. Inside that lunchbox. That hurt your feelings? I'm sorry. There you go.
Like shaking it.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to, like, people listen to audio, you hear, but now that I did that, I blew out eardrums doing that. So insider numbers.
Very considerate you are of other people, not me.
There's numbers inside if you want to cash in.
Can we just do another test?
All right, we'll do an example. Okay,
you're Flannelly Dan. You're Flannelly Dan.
I would like to cash in. I'm down 2 at SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. Okay, you're down 2 at SummerSlam.
Down 2, and I want to cash in.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop. 5 again?
3.
Oh, 3?
You win. You win.
Won.
Flannelly Dan
That's
wins
simple.
again. So, yeah, like you said, there are, what is it, like 1 0, 1 5, 2 1s, blah, blah, blah.
There's 5 1s, 2 4s, 3 3s, 2 4s, 1 5, and 1 0. 5 1s, 2 4 2s, 3 3s, 2 4s, 1 5, 1 0. Make sure I got that right. Yeah.
So, yeah, Flannelly Dan.
So, congratulations to Flannelly Dan. And again, want to cash in after the next show, whenever, just let us know.
There you go. Anyways, it kicked off once again. Oh, by the way, thanks to Chris Garrix for the
Thank you
notes
so much, Chris.
Once
Thank
again.
you. Very
comprehensive here.
We have a couple new channel members here too.
Oh,
we got a bunch today during the stream, so thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And then Sober Chad, Badger, and Pancakes and Hammers, new members. And then Lady J with the super chat here says, "Fun Money in the Bank. Always happy to watch along with the friendos. Happy you're here too."
It is always fun to watch it with the friendos. All right, so Ryan K. Lamb, that was funny. Let's see here. So it kicked off with men's Money in the Bank. They had this really cool sort of like James Bond type 60s style promo for Money in the Bank. That was really nice. And then and this was wildly fun. The men's Money in the Bank match. Logan Paul trying to do them big spots. Him and Ricochet did like a very scary looking Spanish fly.
They had to adjust. It seemed like they had to kind of improvise.
The idea was like the ladder. I think LA Knight, like they were both on the ladder. LA Knight pushed the ladder. Ladder goes down to the ropes, and I think the idea was, okay, let's get really ambitious here. Let's do like a springboard off the ropes into a Spanish fly. Well, look, as good as Logan Paul is, and I'll never fault anybody for ambition. This is a really difficult spot to pull off if that's what they were trying, and I kind of feel like it was. And so they go, and of course Logan Paul, he doesn't land it on the ropes, but they're able to sort of correct pretty quickly and do like a really sort of forced kind of an ugly Spanish fly off that into the tables. And thank God he was able to get his shoulder kind of up, to take a lot of the landing. But the refs immediately,
eventually, because like when going into the table, he was kind of like back of the head first. And by the time he made it through the table, he had rotated his legs around, so he wasn't taking the full landing, the brunt of the landing on his head. But I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be the spot where they bounce off the ropes and then do Spanish fly, or if they were supposed to. I don't know exactly. I don't know what the spot was supposed to be, but it's definitely improvised where Ricochet's like, we're doing Spanish fly now, and they did it.
It was like they saw it in 2K23 and were like, oh, we should try this now.
Well, I'm sure Ricochet just goes, we're doing a Spanish fly, and then just did it.
Well, like he called it during the match?
Well, during the spot when they didn't land it. They're like, no, we're still doing this.
So do you think they were supposed to just come off the ladder onto the tables?
Maybe.
That could be.
I don't know.
That could be.
The table, the ladder was kind of more towards the center of the ring. So if it
seemed like they were going for like the ladder was set up to hit the ropes.
To the ropes, yeah. But I don't know if they're going to hit the ropes, just bound off, and then do something midair. They'll both land to the tables. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, whatever you guys think Logan Paul and Ricochet were supposed to do, let us know in the comments below and hit that thumbs up button. What were the other bits about the ladder match?
There was a lot. There's a lot of great gear, some awesome gear. Santos had some incredible gear.
Yeah, he did.
So I guess we can go toward. Of course, LA Knight got a massive reaction from the crowd there in London. I guess we can go towards
the bank all over his gear too. He had it on
the
back.
It was literally on his vest. Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was a bunch of his logo or a bunch of the Money in the Bank briefcases as a pattern on the inside lining of his vest. But he expected to win.
Yeah, he did. So at one point, Escobar hits him with the Rana off a ladder. Nakamura's climbing up, as is Escobar. So that's when Logan and Ricochet do the springboards on the opposite ladders, kind of replicating or mirroring the spot they did at the Rumble. So they're fighting on the ladders, and eventually Knight pushes one of the ladders over, the one with Ricochet and Logan Paul, and that's when the spot where it seems like they were heading towards the tables or ropes, and they kind of improvised that Spanish fly to go through the tables. Butch gets in the ring. He and LA Knight fight over a ladder. LA Knight looks for a suplex. Butch blocks it, uses some joint manipulation to break that up. Butch grabs at the case, but then Priest grabs it, hits him, choke slams Butch off the ladder onto another one. LA Knight pulls Priest off the ladder, throws him over the top rope, hits billionaire finger trap on Escobar.
Yep.
LA Knight then tosses Nakamura out. He goes up the top rope. Priest gets back in the ring. He's on the ladder too. They're fighting back and forth, and then Priest hits a broken arrow, and then Priest just goes back up, unhooks the briefcase to get the win.
Yeah, man, they really had me going thinking it was going to be LA Knight. Oh boy, because it was the TV direction on the entirety of the show. There was like one or two flubs maybe during the Bloodline stuff at the end.
Yeah.
I think they missed like one moment. But by and large, like the TV direction was really, really good during this match. Especially they had LA Knight, he was up there, and then you just see big ass Damian Priest rise, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean Priest, much like the build up to this match, was not involved in the match a whole lot. He didn't get a whole lot of offense in or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like you said with the build-up, and I'd said prior to this, we're either going to look at this in hindsight and say, well, he wasn't featured in the build at all. Of course he didn't win. But no, it turns out he wasn't featured in the build at all to, as a red herring. Everybody else, ended up losing, and he got it.
Yep.
So anyways, Damian Priest gets it. After that, we had the women's tag match. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. At one point, Shayna had Liv in the Kirifuna clutch. Liv powered up. So this is towards the finish to create some separation there. Ronda tags in, and she's about to get to work on Liv because Raquel's out of the match basically.
Yeah.
Shayna attacks Ronda from behind, chokes her out. Liv is like, "What the fuck is happening?" And Liv looks at Ronda. Raquel tags in, hits a Tahana bomb. Liv spikes her with the Oblivion to get the win. So Liv Morgan pins Ronda Rousey, which of course they've got history as well. So
yeah, a year ago is when Liv cashed in on Ronda.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They really did a good job of setting this up because when Ronda tags herself in, because Liv is coming back from a shoulder injury, Shayna and Ronda were working Liv's arm the entire match.
For sure, yeah.
And you're like, well, Ronda's going to tag in, put an armbar, done. This match is over.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Yeah.
So they really set that up nicely. And then when Shayna turns on Ronda, you're like, I didn't see that coming.
This is one of those things where it's like, Liv just, you and I were both trying to wrap our heads around this. Like, okay, wait, Liv just came back. She's not going to like eat a pin. Like, how are they going to lose this? Unless I was thinking, okay, is Liv going to turn on Raquel because like maybe she blames Raquel for her injury? And also like they've painted Liv as like kind of crazy in the past.
Well, also, like, I mean, like Raquel, like, didn't she find another tag partner?
She found another tag. She just moved right on.
Yeah.
And so, okay, maybe there's like a heel turn there for Liv, new aspect of her character. I saw that coming way more than I saw Shayna, which is great. Dude, I'll be honest with you. As long as there's like some semblance of, okay, this could make sense. We'll see what Shayna has to say. I'm cool with it. I like it.
Yeah, totally. If it's as simple as, what Ronda said to Shayna is like, you need to, where's the killer that you used to be? I need to see that again. If that's what this is. All right.
There's going to be a lot of intrigue when it comes to the women's division coming up at SummerSlam too, because you got Shayna and Ronda. Obviously, that's going to be a match there. If they do Bianca Charlotte away from the title, or if they do the big triple threat, plus Io Bailey might be a thing. Like we've given a lot of criticism to WWE for how they're booking the women's division, but it seems like Money in the Bank might have unlocked a couple possibilities here for some stories. That just aren't related to the title.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. Then we get an interview backstage with Mr. Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. And he says, hey, I can cash in on any champion that I want to. And he mentions Seth, or the World Heavyweight Champion. He mentions the Undisputed Champion. And he says, the one thing I don't have to think about is that I will become El Campeón.
El Campeón. Yeah, good stuff.
It's going to be champion.
After that, we do have to recognize also his entrance attire was awesome.
Oh, he looked like Skeletor.
That was win attire, But then sometimes people come out and win attire and they don't win shit.
And they lose. They don't win.
Santos had great attire, but he's cold. He's cold. After that, we had a Riddle versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Riddle had his ankle all taped up. That is until Gunther started unraveling it, which was kind of hilarious. Even more hilarious, right before he tapped his ass out, he chopped his foot. He chopped his foot a bunch of times and tapped his ass out. That was great.
That was great. So Gunther hit the power bomb before getting the 3 count. He gets a half crab on him, and then Riddle kicks out of that, and that's when Gunther grabs his foot, and starts chopping the ankle.
Oh, that was amazing. That was
and then puts on a heel hook to get the win. That was great.
That was awesome.
Great.
That was really awesome. So Gunther raises his belt high, and then we got the bagpipes, Larson. Drew McIntyre shows up. Big pop for Drew. He makes his way to the ring. Drew gets up on the apron. Gunther's like, come on, let's do it. He's ready to throw down again. He's like,
he wants to fight. He wants another match. He's like, Riddle, that was easy.
I chop your Claymore.
Yeah.
And so anyways, Drew gets in. They face. You love that idea.
I want to see it happen.
Drew
comes running with a Claymore, chop right in the foot.
Chops it down. Anyways, Gunther face washes him. Drew responds with a Glasgow kiss, sets up for a Claymore, hits it. Place goes nuts. Drew holds the title above him, and he's totally going to job out to Gunther before contract negotiations start in earnest.
Yep. It's going to be a good match at SummerSlam, though.
Right? It's going to be a killer match.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great match. Great. Then we got Cody versus Dom. This was perfectly fine. It could have been a good, like Raw main event or something. Just nothing about this match elevated it beyond just like a solid bout, because it didn't really advance anybody's story. I didn't feel like.
Well, sometimes I look at it like this: what can somebody benefit from a match? Like, how do you visualize Dom after this match on Raw talking about it? What's going to be his justification? He kept on trying to leave, and instead he got hit with one crossroads. And that was it. That's why I was like, oh, dude, Brock's totally going to show up. Not honestly, like I did. It's not like I miss Brock. I don't want to give a shit if he was there or not. They'll justify the SummerSlam match some other way. But I did feel like Brock's presence, even if Cody beats him and then Brock comes out, Dom could have been like, well, Brock Lesnar showed up and that's why I lost. It's like, wait a second, but he's a bad guy. So
exactly.
he's going to some excuse, some reason that we can look at and be like, oh, Dom is able to then take this loss and run with it from a bad guy promo perspective.
Exactly.
And I don't know where that is here.
There's nothing there.
It was just like a 7 minute, 8 minute long match where Cody won just
with the crossroads. Yeah, with a single crossroads. Yeah.
The only story beat here was, is this what he's going to say? I thought Cody was injured, but he was playing fake because he got rid of the cast.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe that
could be. That could be. That might be it. But that was such like the camera barely even caught it when Cody took the arm brace off.
Cole made like a big deal about it, but it was it's at this point it was like a little tiny wrist brace. Like it really is nothing, you know.
I know. So after that match,
one more thing to say about Drew McIntyre too is that Cole said the rumors of Drew McIntyre being gone from WWE are whatever bunk or whatever. Yeah. So that might actually be an indication that negotiations are done and he is sticking around if Cole is selling that Drew's going to be here in WWE for a while.
It could be.
Maybe.
That could be. Then John Cena's music hits. Pretty huge surprise. He wasn't advertised for the show.
Correct.
And so he gets on the mic and pretty much says the powers that be, WB management, don't like coming here because the fans of the United Kingdom take over the show. And, you know, if Vince likes anything, he likes to control his show. Every little aspect of it. So
like, they don't go, the press conference, and I have no idea if they're Triple H is talking right now. I really hope somebody's like, so Cena said you guys don't like coming here. Can you comment on
yeah.
Find me.
So then Cena turns that around and says, no, you are the type of crowds that we should want, and I'm going to make it essentially my mission to get a WrestleMania in London.
Right. Yeah.
Which is huge news.
And there's no way. I know Cena's allowed to do what Cena wants, but there's a limit to that. Like him and Vince are close. You would think that Vince would be like, don't say that. We're not coming to London.
I would think the whole point of him going out there is to say, we're going to try to get a WrestleMania in London. That is the point of this promo.
Which is, we are coming to London for WrestleMania. Like that's, I would think that's probably the case too. So,
and then he's like, John Cena's probably like, all right, well, how do we get there? And then
how do we make the people feel?
And then he, says, all right, well, hey, there's a reputation, the whole, they cheer the bad guys and boo the good guys, and they don't give the reactions that production management necessarily wants for the wrestlers.
Cena to go bury Triple H,
and so that was the deal.
Yeah, he said, "Well, tell him it's the powers that be. Everybody knows it's Triple H and Nick Khan."
And so he says, "Let me hear you. Let me hear you that you want to get a Mania here in London." That brings out boom, 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 Grayson Waller. Boom, boom, boom. And I won't go into everything he said. He's putting Cena over at first.
He did a good job with his promo too.
He did. He stepped up on a pretty large platform pretty quickly, and he says, "WrestleMania in London or in England? You got to be kidding me. How about a WrestleMania in Australia?" Mm-hmm. He tries to get the Aussie chant going there. No one in the crowd really chanted longer, very few. Yeah. And then Waller's like, hey, things haven't been going too well for you. You lost to Theory. You lost to Roman. You've lost to The Fiend. Hey, let me be the Superman for you. You've helped so many people. Let me help you save your career. How about you be on Grayson Waller effect at WrestleMania Australia? And you can get the hometown rub from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cena just goes, so I'm hearing is no WrestleMania in London. You want me to fly to Australia, get the rub from Grayson Waller? I'm going to pass. And Grayson says, no one says no. And then John says, can I enjoy some time with my friends? Which is apparently a reference to when he was trying to have dinner and someone asked for a picture or whatever.
Trying to have some dinner, man. Leave the guy alone. I know.
If you see someone famous in public and they're eating, leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Leave them alone. He said, we were just saying how we want to have WrestleMania in London. So Waller hits Cena from behind. You know where this is going. AA from Cena. Waller rolls out of the ring.
So I've seen the sentiment, not on Twitter because Twitter doesn't exist anymore. Now at this point, we're just on our, it's like our only social media is like our chat. You know, we're gonna have to look. Maggie and Dope do a phenomenal job holding down the fort over the WrestleJuice Discord. Yes. Maybe some rebranding into Friendo Club is in order over there.
Maybe it's in order now if all social media is gone now.
Because I don't know, there's Elon Musk stuff saying Everybody's got a limit now. Well, I ain't paying $8. You're not paying $8.
I'm not paying a single
I'm not
cent.
paying a fucking dime.
I ain't paying anything
for that shit. Like, we're gonna need a way, like a community tab over on YouTube.
I know.
Maybe we can appeal to Twitch to let us do notifications, like email notifications there.
Again, that'd be great.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, we're gonna have to figure. Like, I got this little thing right here that says @MF Steve here. I can't. Well, I think I can get notifications and DMs for now.
Yeah. But in terms of keeping staying up to date with what's actually going on in the wrestling world.
So like, I put my Discord number here, like Steve 5360 whatever.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how it works either.
I don't know. It's
so
confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very confusing.
Before we move to the next match, we got a super chat here from Jerome Felix. Says, I hope the watch along went well, friendos. I would have stopped by, but I have some spotty service at a weekend long event I'm currently attending. Just want to say thank you for doing what you both do. Well, thank you so much, Jerome.
Thank you, Jerome. We really appreciate it. That's so nice of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, WrestleMania in London, man. That'd be great.
That'd be something else. That would be something else. Hey, while we're taking this break, if you're watching here on YouTube, whether it's live, VOD, if you could hit that like button. It's one that looks like this.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to do good things for show, I hear, also.
Yeah.
If you like what you're hearing, if you're new, hit that sub button, that notify bell, so you are notified of all our content going forward.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. Yeah, or like get on our Discord, I guess. Maggie has a link to Discord here in the
there
chat,
it is.
So there you go. If you want Discord, maybe we can just have our own little super bubble there.
Look at this is like the bird app's working right now.
Oh, the tweets are flowing
For now.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Let's see if I refresh a couple times, see what happens.
It's back. Love it.
Looks to be back for the time being. Anyways, next match, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This match was a lot of fun.
Oh man, this was a lot of fun.
Trish Stratus took a couple rough bumps. Looks like she might have broken her nose early in the bout, and then gets
the rope spot.
Yeah, looks like that was pretty early in the match. And then Becky gives her a manhandle slam on the ladder, and then between those two events, Zoe and Trish try to handcuff Becky. To, I guess, either like the turnbuckle or something anyway, so she can't win the match. Well, they get one side of the handcuffs on, but Becky fights out. So down towards the finish, Zoe, following the manhandle slam on the ladder, Zoe hits a neck breaker on Becky on the apron. Zelina starts to climb up. Zoe climbs the opposite side, and there's a ladder bridge between, like the third rung of the ladder and the ropes.
Yeah.
So that leads to Zelina hitting a code red off the top of the ladder onto Zoe, onto the ladder that's bridged across, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So then Io makes her way up, gets back in the ring, moves one of the ladders out of the way, and repositions the larger ladder. So she starts to climb up, and then Bayley pushes that ladder over, sends Io into the ropes. So Bayley, she saw that moment really well, where it's like, I didn't really want to do it, but I had to do it.
It's every person for themselves.
Although
apparently during the press conference, I didn't see this because I just have like crappy subtitles on.
Yeah.
But Bayley had claimed that they were going to like freebird the Money in the Bank.
I'm not sure Io's cool with that. So Bayley then sets the ladder back up. She starts to climb. Becky makes her way up, and they're climbing opposite sides of the ladder. So they're jockeying for position and fighting. And then Io gets up and then handcuffs Becky to Bayley while they're like on different rungs of the ladder about halfway up.
I thought she was just gonna like handcuff Becky to like one of the rungs.
Yeah.
She screwed over Bayley. It was amazing.
I know. So like each or like one of Bayley's arms and one of Becky's arms was through the rungs of the ladder and like in the center of it, and that's where Io cuffed them together. So then she literally climbs over Bayley to climb the top of the ladder, sits on top of the ladder, and unhooks the briefcase to get the win.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That was really good stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. So after that, we had the World Heavyweight Championship match, Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Finn's entrance gear was awesome. He had that cool purple and black mask and the hood and the cool jacket and everything.
Yeah.
But
Seth had some nice gold pants.
Yeah, he did have some very nice gold pants. And the match was fine. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like it just didn't feel all that special. I just felt like the Priest, just sort of wandering out as this looming threat, and then sitting down was kind of just that match in a nutshell. It just felt like the match was kind of ambly. And, they did some spots on the outside and stuff. So anyways, Priest makes his way out with the case. He stares at Seth and walks around the ring. Seth's like, oh, man, what's this guy going to do? The chant, there's a cash it in chant as Finn rolls up Seth off the distraction. Seth gets out of that. Seth hits a super kick and stares at Priest ring. There were too many bits where it was like, I know that they were framing them out for dramatic effect, but it felt like Finn didn't have. That's my main problem. Finn, once Damian came out as the distraction, Finn had no sense of urgency. Like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this until the finish.
Yeah.
So like Priest comes out, he ambles out. Rollins goes up to him. Priest takes a seat ringside. Finn hits a shotgun drop kick into the barricade, which was gnarly. That was a really gnarly spot.
Yeah.
Sends Seth into the announce table. Finn hits a coup de grace off that, another one off the steps, and then he rolls him in, and he's about to hit, and he hits a drop kick into the corner. Well, that sets up the final coup de grace. Now, you just think that, like, at that point, Finn's 2 coup de grace in advance of this would have given him a little bit more time, because the distraction was like maybe a couple seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't,
because he's about to hit it, and then it looks over at Priest, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And Priest is like, "Okay, I'll go back." And then Finn goes for it, but Seth is able to move out of the way, and then immediately Seth hits a stomp.
I know, and it's like Finn was working Seth's ribs, which were taped up the entire match.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
hits those 2 coup de grace off the steps in the announce table, plus the drop kick, sending him into the barricade. And yeah, it was like at most 4 seconds, the distraction when Priest gets out of his chair and makes one motion towards the ring. And that's enough for Seth to be like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. Now, maybe, just maybe, like Finn was cropped out of frame, and maybe his lack of urgency as soon as Damian came out, and there was that, because I mean, he went for a roll up, but like beyond that, it was like, okay, just keep going at it.
Yeah.
Maybe he was perplexed by Priest just being out there anyways.
Yeah,
maybe
totally
that was part of it, but I don't know. So here's the update here. The reason why you're able to see those tweets is because an hour ago, Elon upped it to 10,000 for the $8 people, 1,000 for you and me, and then I guess 500 for whatever the other version is. New accounts. Okay. So I don't know how long that's going to be. It's a crap app.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
Just whatever. Anyways, our main event, Usos versus Roman and Solo. This is a match they definitely set on simmer to start, because it took a while to get going, but once it got going, it was really good. The crowd really kept the energy in this match early on. It was, to say it was meticulously paced is to be generous, because it was very slowly paced.
So I said the same thing about Ospreay Omega. This is a 40-minute match that should have been 30. Hit the ground running and give us 30. 30 is a long time, by the way.
It is. I know.
They went 40. The first 10 minutes, it was all getting to know you shit we didn't need, honestly. Like, there was enough stuff going on in the last 30 minutes of that match to make it just outstanding, right?
Yeah.
Bloodline matches, I get it. The last story beat we get is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The story beat tonight, the last story beat, Roman ate the pin, and everything that led up to it. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But goddamn, these things take forever to get there. They really do.
Yeah,
and at this point, it's not just that it takes a long time. It's that the template is there, and we know the template. And if you know something's going to happen, then like it sort of loses the drama. Let's get to the ref bump. Okay, can we just get to the damn ref bump? Because that's when you know the match takes off.
Yeah, I know.
And it's the same thing every time. And yes, the finishes are always spectacular. I loved the back half of this match.
Yeah, it was really good.
But you got to sit through a first half of it that's like, can we just get to it? Because we know with it, please? What's going to happen.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
Get on with it, please. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of the get to know you, because that's an opportunity for character bits. And we saw that, especially at the beginning when Roman wasn't happy with what Solo was doing early on.
Yeah.
He's like, get over here.
Yeah.
You're out. Tag me in now. Yeah. And Solo being like, don't really appreciate how you just talked to me there, Roman, but my job here is to protect you and to follow your orders, so I will listen to you, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Dope says wrestling does ref bumps way too much. Hire some more stable refs. Like, you and I just want a little bit of logic in our wrestling in an absurd entertainment medium.
Yes.
Triple H, send 2 down. Just send 2 refs down. Like, mix it up.
This happens every time.
From what I understand, like, you know, it's Michael P.S. Hayes doing the same thing.
I know.
And it's like, I get it, but man, this apparently the ref looked like the ref got fucked up on this one.
Yeah, his knee got pinned between the ropes and
like Roman or something.
Roman,
right?
I think, when they
Yeah. So I feel for that guy, but
yeah,
I don't know.
nasty.
Mix up the formula a little bit, and you're absolutely right. A match needs some of that. Like, okay, what's the dynamic going to be like here? You got the Usos, you got Roman and Solo. What's the dynamic going to be like?
Yeah,
and I'm down for that. Let's speed it up. Let's get
especially when a match is advertised as Bloodline Civil War
with its own graphic and everything.
You expect a level of urgency involved with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And when you kind of take too long to get to the action, really, you lose that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Bull Run
had a lot of getting to know you moments there at the beginning.
Yeah, like the Usos had something to prove to Roman.
Yeah,
and Roman has something to defend.
Yeah,
and it just took a while to get to the where the intensity and the urgency felt like it needed to be. But anyways, towards the end, Jimmy is locked into a guillotine. He powers Roman up, drives him in the corner, tags in Jay. Roman puts a guillotine on again on Jimmy. And that's when we get the ref bump. And we get a super kick and a 1D from the Usos. No ref. Usos get the visual pin there. Ref is laid out. You think, all right, Usos, maybe they're going to lose now. So they set up for stereo splashes. Solo pushes Jimmy off. And then Solo and Roman hit stereo rock bottoms on the Usos. So then Solo spikes Jimmy. And then Roman and Solo does a spike spear combo on Jay, and then Roman's like, stack him to Solo. Stack him.
Yeah.
So Solo stacks them. Roman covers. Both the Usos kick out.
I thought that shit was done.
I thought it was
that
done.
Fool stacking them. Yeah, I know.
That crowd was chanting bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That whole crowd thought that match was over. So at this point, Roman's on the ground, hands on his head, just emotional mess. He's like, what do I have to do to beat this? Like so much emotion.
That's his own trauma. Yeah.
Yeah. Is flooding back at him. And Solos looks at him almost with contempt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You got one thing to do here. Beat the Usos. That's all you got to do.
It was like the when fucking Godfather told what's his face, the singer, be a man. It was like, it was that kind of look. Like, what are you doing? You're the tribal chief.
Yeah.
You don't pout. Yeah. You don't show vulnerability. Come on.
Nope.
Yeah, that was good.
So then Solo starts punching away at Jay. Roman kind of shakes out of it. And then Solo's going after Jimmy on the outside. And Roman screams at Solo to clear the table. So Solo puts Jimmy on it. He's looking for a splash off the barricade. Jimmy rolls off. Jay hits Roman with a super kick. Roman responds with Superman punch. Jay hits another Superman kick. Roman hits a spear. Jay kicks out of that. And when he kicks out, it's a great reference to how Roman used to win matches early on in this whole Bloodline thing. Kicking out, forearm right to the front area. The low blow on the kick out. The ref can't see. So Roman's really selling that he got hit in the front area. So Jay is up. Roman is kneeling. Super kicks from the Usos. Double super kick to Roman and Solo. Another super kick on Roman. Jay tags in. He goes up, hits a splash off the top to get the pin on Roman and the win. And people in chat were telling us that was referencing when Jay was the first person to pin Roman in a match. Same spot.
Which is great. Which is awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and man, just sold it. Heyman sold it because earlier in the match, Heyman was telling Roman, "These guys are going to be your kids are going to be sitting at their table." Roman's like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, at the dine-in Arby's. Not the dine-in. Then nobody's wiped this table down.
Yeah, I know, and it's the one they haven't updated since the 70s.
Yeah, there's like curly fry crumbs everywhere. There's like an old stain of horsey sauce.
There's a film of horsey sauce just all over the table.
Oh, not a film.
It's been there for 30 years.
That's horrible.
It's like varnish the table.
Oh, disgusting. What's her You can't Usos. Don't take my kids there. Please, not there. Anywhere else. Oh, man. I didn't put any question threads up, so we get an early day off here, Larson.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
White Brownie does have this here. He says, before I forget, will you guys be doing StarCast this year? So it was announced.
Yeah.
But it's in Chicago. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, yo, you go to Portillo's? You going to go to Portillo's?
Yeah, we'll go to Portillo's.
I don't know. I don't want to get on a plane these days, man. Can you do like a road trip to Chicago?
That is a long drive.
That's a hell of a long drive.
That's like a whole week we'd have to take off to do that.
It's so long. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I've sort of realized, especially after we didn't go to Mania in LA last year, or this year, sorry, where I was like, we're in the service industry. We provide a place for people to get together, and we do this stream of ours. And going to events like All Out, even if there's a cool convention there, I don't know. We got to save our money for London in 2 years, man.
Oh, I guess so, don't we, huh?
Hey, one thing I would totally do? I'd be like, okay, 1 year, one night, let's just go. Let's do London, and we'll do one of those pub watch-alongs with like Wrestle Talk or whoever does those. I think Wrestle Talk does those. That'd be cool.
That'd be
just
fun.
Having points.
Pints.
Who's going to buy me another pint?
Like, you're on your own there, man.
Nah, man. All those British friendos are going to be like, oh, well, Steve. Like, oh, you're the best.
He's 15 pints deep asking for another, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, you're cut off. No, bleh.
Bleh.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
an SNL sketch. Bleh. Bleh.
Oh, and Maggie says, is this your way to get to Luke? Yeah, then we can pitch him in person. Be like, listen, one more pint?
Like, here, look. We bought your ticket to the States.
We got you a ticket to the States. One more pint, and can you break the contract? Tamper.
Oh, wow. Organ Grinder says MJF called Chugs during his stream today.
That's what I said he should do.
Yeah.
That's what I said he should do.
Yeah.
Somebody's listening, man.
Maybe.
Somebody watches our shit.
Could be.
Yeah, dude.
Could be.
Anyways. Oh, yeah. Twinewinder says we're going to watch Collision. So, yeah, YouTube, this should redirect you to our Collision watch-along. Just, it's right next to, it's in the door. It's in the room right next to the GTA session today. So just wait there and we'll be there. Trust me.
There's no watch-along tonight.
No watch-along today.
No watch-along.
Nope. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. Anyways, hopefully all of you enjoy your weekend as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.